The 2019 Vega IRONMAN World Championship, arguably the toughest and most grueling one-day sporting event, is upon us. This is the big island of Hawaii, normally a haven for tourists, but the only tourists today are going to be in the form of Ironman triathletes. And welcome to the show. I am Greg Welch, joined by Dee Griesbauer.
Yes, the weather here in Kailua Kona, temperature 88 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 31 degrees Celsius.
Lining up for our women now. They are just about to head into the water for the local time. 6:30 is going to be their start. However, our pro men are lining up at 6:25, and this is the course. We can tell you that the Roka swim course right now, elongated rectangular course, as they make their way out 2.4 miles in length.
And then they take to the Ventum bike course where the athletes will make a loop through town and then head out on the Queen K Highway. They'll go all along the Queen K before making a turn at Kauai High and then starting a long climb up towards Hawaii.
Once they hit Hawaii at the 61-mile mark, they will make a return journey down to Kauai High before they rejoin the Queen Kapumana Highway here on the Ventum bike course, and then they will rack their bikes and head out onto the hook and they on a run course.
They'll run along the Lihi Drive, make the climb up Kalani, out back onto the Queen Ka'umanu Highway, into the Energy Lab, flip it, and come back to the most exciting finish line in sport.
All set for a start in our pro men's race right now. Jan Frodeno in the race, Patrick Langer, Sebastian Kinley, and the crowd. So there they go. Our men's are underway in the Vega IRONMAN World Championship men's pro race.
Absolutely, we're going to expect to see the Aussie Josh Amberger out to a quick start leading our pro men here today.
Wouldn't mind betting that Braden Curry's going to be right in there as well. And look at that, a great start. Josh Amberger out in first place. Alistair Brownlee from Great Britain, the Olympic champion, in second. And there you see, you can throw a blanket over the field right now, but it will stretch out. There's Patrick Langer, Bart Arnarts, David McNamee and Jan Frodeno, Sebastian Kinley. They are our top 5 ranked athletes today and our notables in the early goings in the sprint.
Absolutely, and look for the silver cap of Jan Frodeno. He had to sit out for 2 years, he was out for 1 year with injury, had a struggle, sat out the entire race last year. He is back in this field, and that is going to change the dynamic of this race.
Almost set for a start in our women's race right now as Josh Amberger from Australia just stretches it out there in the lead.
Absolutely, and it looks to be a lead pack of men forming here. Looks 4, 5, 6, 7 guys trying to get away from the bulk of the chase pack there.
Amberger still leading here, but we are going to go over to our women's start right now because they are on the line, and we have Daniela Reef lining up. Sarah True is right in there, Sarah Crowley, but the big news, Lucy Charles-Barclay as they get underway. Lucy Charles-Barclay and Lauren Brandon, watch out for these two super swimmers.
Absolutely, you don't have to be much of a betting person to bet on the fact that Lucy Charles-Barclay is going to be out to a quick start and that Lauren Brandon is going to work hard to get on her feet. That's Lucy Charles-Barclay we see on the left of your screen in the blue cap, and Lauren Brandon in the red cap swimming away from the rest of this women's field.
And as they come together right now, as we predicted, there is Lucy Charles-Barclay. She was an incredible 1,500-metre swimmer. She tried for the Olympic Games back in 2012, but she turned her hand to triathlon, and it's worked out very good. Lauren Brandon now trying to get onto the feet for the free ride behind Charles-Barclay.
Absolutely, Lauren Brandon, the American, a collegiate swimmer, and those two, I expect, will swim away from this women's field.
Men's leader, Josh Amberger from Australia. He's known to be one of the fastest Ironman swimmers on the globe, and today he is showing us exactly why this young Australian has a beautiful stroke.
Absolutely. Last year he said he was going to swim a little easy because he wanted some company. This year he said he was going to put his foot on the gas because he knew the caliber of swimmers in this field. He wasn't going to be alone even if he swam as hard as he could.
Especially with Alistair Brownlee, the Iron rookie, and the return of Jan Frodeno back in the race after an absence last year with a stress fracture in the hip. So there we see our men's. This is our women's leader right now. Lucy Charles-Barclay last year and the year before, second place in the race. What's it going to take for her to win?
Well, it's going to take, I suspect, an off day for Daniela Reef. She's just been so solid, so steady. We rarely see her falter, so Lucy's going to have to put out quite a performance to win this race today.
And last year, Lauren Brandon, she was stung by a jellyfish in the swim and unable to keep the feet of Lucy Charles. But the men now, look at this. We've got 1.6 miles to go in the swim as they now head out to the turnaround buoy. And last year they were just over that 21-minute mark. What can they do today? Will they be swimming faster? they do have an outgoing current.
They do, and we've got a pretty good sizable pack here, Greg. I counted almost 9 athletes in this lead pack of men's swimmers here at the front of this race.
Yeah, we can see Daniel Backergaard in there as well. Braden Curry's up there, Tim O'Donnell from the USA. But really surprising, Patrick Langer has made the lead group.
He has. That's gonna change the dynamic of this race because all eyes will be on him as the defending champion. Back to our women's race. It's still Lucy Charles Barkley at the front of the race. Look at that turnover. She's got a really, really strong turnover in this choppy swim today with a little bit of swell.
We had a lot of wind yesterday afternoon, and that is wind swell right there. There is no real wind to speak of right now, but the wind swell that we've been able to be captured overnight is just rocking up against the shoreline and coming back at them. So there's Lauren Brandon from the USA sitting in second place right now. She wants to have a great race today because this year was a breakout year with a win. 2019 Ironman Bowl.
Yeah, her very first Ironman win. She's full of confidence coming off that win, and so far things going much better for her than they did last year.
And already making a lot of time on the rest of the group there. You can see that Sarah True, Sarah Crowley, Daniela Reefer already 45 seconds down. Only 400 meters into the race.
Yep, these women are going to have a lot of work for themselves to catch this lead pair of women when they get out of Kailua Bay.
There goes the Australian Josh Amberger as they make the turn at 21 minutes exactly. Alistair Brownlee sitting right on there. We can see Backergaard in there. We can see Jan Frodeno, and in the blue suit, that was Patrick Langer.
That gold cat, Patrick Langer, I think the guys are going to be really surprised to see him in this lead pack of swimmers.
100 meters across to the second turn buoy. There's only 2 turn buoys on the course there today, Dee Dee. Very easy to navigate your way around. It's an elongated rectangular course, so it's very, very far out. Just over 1 mile to the turnaround and 1 mile back, making up those 2.4 miles. There's Alistair Brownlee slapping away in that second place, and Frodeno sitting comfortably in third place.
Now let's not forget they had a little bit of push on the way out. They were just over 21 minutes to that first turn. They're going to fight it on the way back. And let me stretch out this lead pack of men.
Course record 46 minutes and 29 seconds. We know that is held by Jan Severson, the age grouper from Germany. He was an incredible pro athlete himself. All right, Amberger still leads our men's race. Only 0.7 of a mile, just 1 kilometre to go in our men's pro race here in Kailua Bay. And this is the 2019 Vega Ironman World Championship. The men's race is really, really heating up. It's going to be a great race to watch throughout the day, but the women's race, especially for these two ladies right now, Lucy Charles Barkley continues to lead, and Lauren Brandon hasn't come around here yet. Do you think she can?
I don't think she wants to at this point, and Lucy Charles Barkley swims from a place of confidence at the front of the race. Lucy's going to be perfectly happy to have Lauren sit back, and Lauren's going to be perfectly happy to take advantage of that draft on Lucy's feet.
Lucy Charles Barkley, an incredible cyclist as well, worked really hard in the off-season on her run as we see our lead paddleboarder coming in to get our men out of the water right now. This is Josh Amberger from Australia. Now Jan Frodeno, the 2-time Ironman world champion, the Olympic champion. He leads another Olympic champion in Alistair Brownlee. This is it for the men as they stand.
And up the Roca stairs they come through the showers, getting some fresh water as they make their way through this frantic T1 transition zone. Athletes grabbing their T1 bags, into the change tent they go. The swim skin comes off, the sleeves on the race kit comes up, they grab the helmets, run through the change tent, and make their way towards their bikes.
There are rules as well, and the helmets need to be strapped on before they take their bike from the transition area. Then they have to run out to the mountain line before they get on their bikes and head out onto the Queen Kaluana Highway for the very first time today. But that's it, a long run around the edge and the perimeter of our transition area today. First to the bike is Josh Amberger, second to the bike is Jan Frodeno. This is all looking good for Frodeno at this early stage.
Very good for Frodeno. He's a guy who doesn't have a weakness, Greg. He can swim with the best, he can bike with the best, and he can run with the best.
And what he's done right now, he's hit Kuakini Highway, he's made the right turn onto Makala Road. He is going to now still put his foot into the shoe, as you can see there. He's wasting no time, he wants to create a gap.
He's wasting no time, and you saw Josh Amberger there look over his shoulder to see who was with him. And here we have our pro women exiting up those same Roca swim steps. No surprises, it's Lucy Charles Barkley. Lauren Brandon a little slow to step up. Lucy's gapped her. This is not good for Lauren Brandon.
Remember, they've been over the last 50 minutes in that, horizontal position. Now they stand up. The blood is now moving and transferring from the upper body down to the lower body. Lucy Charles Barkley has a quick transition. Lauren Brandon just a little bit slower right here.
And we see Lucy Charles Barkley make her way around this transition zone. She's going to be mindful. Daniela Reef, what's the gap to Daniela Reef? Has she done enough work in the swim that she's going to be able to hold on through the entire bike leg here?
Wasting no time getting to the bike this morning. She's very eager to climb aboard that time machine. It's going to be a very quick bike ride for Lucy Charles. 112 miles on the Venton bike course coming right up, and Laura Brandon losing a little bit of time in transition.
She lost a little bit of time. That's not great for either one of these women because Lucy was hoping for a little help on the bike from Lauren.
And through town, it's Alistair Brownlee now, the Olympic champion from 2012 and 2016. He won his Ironman in Ireland earlier this year, but it's his first time on the big island of Hawaii. It may be a learning experience, but he is well trained and he's out there in the lead of his very first Ironman, looking around. Do I wait? Do I wait for the help or do I go ahead?
Well, he's using some of that short course speed and he's opened up a little bit of a gap on the rest of the lead pack of men. I'm not sure that's the best strategy here. He did look over his shoulder as if to say, hey guys, are you coming with me?
Head down into the handlebars there, just seeking a little bit of protection and solace away from the wind. The wind is one of the elements that we will talk about today because it is forecasted to get up to 22 knots at the far end of the bike course today. This is a beautiful overhead look of the Queen Ka'umano Highway as they now head out on the Kahala coast here on the big island of Hawaii, going through the very important aid stations. Very important to slow down and get your nutrition.
Absolutely. Conditions today on the big island, always hot and humid. So grabbing that aid, getting those water bottles from those wonderful volunteers, really important. And here we saw Jan Frodeno at the front of the bike missing the bottle grabs. He got one bottle, used it to cool himself off, but missed that second bottle for his own hydration.
Well, he's not wasting any time there. He's not slowing down. He just wants to keep the pace going because I know that he wants to keep the others at bay right now. Lucy Charles Barkley, that's the same strategy. She's just got to stay on the nutrition. Look at that. She's got her 2 bottles right at the back there. She's got one right up front where she can see. This is a beautiful position, riding with a very strong cadence right now.
And one of the unique features of her bike, where her race number is that F2, that's also a hydration tank, so she's got plenty of fluids on board.
And look at the gap. It's already spread out to 1 minute and 42 seconds over Lauren Brandon. That's unfortunate because we know that Lauren Brandon today wanted to swim on the shoulder of Lucy Charles Barkley. She did that. She wanted to get onto the bike side by side. She missed the boat.
She did miss the boat. She struggled a little bit in transition, and she's paying the price for it now. And Lucy Charles Barkley biking away from her. On the mind of Lucy Charles Barkley right now, though, is Daniela Reef. Where is Daniela, and is she coming for Lucy?
As we head out to Kauai High on this wonderful Venton bike course. This will take on 2,200 metres of vertical climbing today. You wouldn't think so when you look at the course on a map, but today a very, very tough bike ride. They will be experiencing the winds. The trade winds are expected to kick up in about an hour's time, and Brownlee sitting on the back. There's Timothy O'Donnell in 4th, Maurice Clavel in 3rd, Anne Berger and Frodeno lead the Vega Ironman World Championship, and it's enough is enough for Maurice Clavel from Germany. He now comes to the front to assume the pace setting.
Absolutely he does, and then we had Josh Amberger ride right up on his wheel and try to slot in there in front of Jan Frodeno as the athletes make their way towards Hovey. We can see the wind starting to pick up.
You see on the side, we call the grassy little knolls there on the side there. They're just sort of bending over, so we can see that the leeward side of the island is to the athlete's right. We call that's Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa. There is a funnel that goes right down in between these athletes here, and you can see that from right to left is going to be the wind direction. Leaderboard right now, Maurice Clavel leads at 32 miles. That is 50 kilometres onto the bike course. Anne Berger, O'Donnell, Frodeno and Brownlee out top 5. They're only separated by 7 seconds at this early part of the bike.
Now tell me, what is on the minds of these guys right now? Some of the Uber cyclists that might factor into the race later. Tell me about Sebastian Kienle. Tell me about Cameron Worth. How's that going to play out?
They will come into the fray a little bit later on. We know that for a fact because this is Patrick Langer. He's been spat out in the back at the moment. He made the lead group on the swim today, which was probably surprising to himself. But right now he seems to be struggling quite a bit as he makes his way toward Kauai High.
Absolutely. He's been left by himself. A few riders have come through him. He hasn't been able to hold pace with them, so he has been left absolutely all out on his own, and you can see his whole body, that movement, you can see how hard he's working.
Swam in the lead group today with a 47.39, but at the 31-mile mark, just struggling a little bit at 1 hour and 13 minutes into it. Just about to make that left-hand turn onto Kauai High here. He She is not feeling well at all. This is a really unfortunate incident. You can see that Patrick Langer is now calling it a day as he now just goes to the car with his second coach there. And unfortunately for Langer, our defending champion, he's out. Let's go back to the temperature. 68 degrees in the morning, 20 degrees Celsius, but it's going to warm up to 88 degrees. That is not the heat index. The heat index is going to be in the high 90s, which is about 35 degrees Celsius, but 31 degrees Celsius on the ground. This is the two-time Ironman world champion. This is Jan Frodeno from Germany, and the winds are just starting to kick up, Didi. You can see that bike. He's struggling to keep a hold of it.
You can see his bike is all over the place. Those winds whipping him, blowing him across the road, but he's very, very poised. He's staying nice and relaxed, which is the best way to handle those crosswinds.
Jan Frodeno continues to lead by Maurice Clavel, so it's Germany 1, Germany 2 as they now make their way into Harvey Town. This is going to be the turnaround point at the 59-mile mark, and the 61-mile mark, that is the farthest part of the course away from the start and finish line. They are all set to turn around, but this is Lucy Charles Barclay as she makes her way uphill.
She makes her way uphill towards Kauai. She is all by herself right now. She has dropped the likes of Lauren Brandon, and none of the other women have been able to bridge that gap that she was able to gain out of the swim.
Charles Barclay now, she is leading the race. Lauren Brandon is just slipping back, but the big news on the field is that Weymouth and also Laura Philipp and the other German, this is Annie Haug. She was third place last year. Very strong swimmer, strong on the bike, and a very, very strong runner. Watch for Annie Haug to come through the race a little bit later on. Let's go back to Lucy Charles Barclay right now. The nutrition's still stuck in the same place. She has been perfect so far.
She has been perfect so far. We see a little bit of movement through her shoulders and in her body there. I think that's a factor of her going uphill and forcing, fighting those winds a little bit.
Lucy Charles Barclay now makes the turnaround in Harvey Town. Now, what's interesting about Harvey is they have 12 different microclimates. In one day, you could have rain, you could have sunshine, it could be windy, it could even be cold. It's up a little bit higher than where it sits down at sea level back in Kailua Bay, where the Ironman started and will finish later on. Annie Haug is now making her way through the field. She has done the brunt of the work in this chase group. She's chasing along with Sarah Brown from Australia. There she comes into shot right now. We've got Weymouth in there, Laura Philipp. They are from Germany as well. So 3 Germans in the top 10 today. Imogen Simmons going through from Switzerland.
Her first time here, Imogen Simmons, and we expect big things from her. And here we have Daniela Reef. She is our defending champion, 4-time defending champion. She is not making a move. She is not bridging that gap. And if I have to say, Greg, I have to say she's not really looking herself today on the night.
Yeah, not looking herself. She's just trying to dive into that nutrition as she makes her way out of Harvey. She is now on the return leg back into Kailua Bay. And Daniela Reef, our 4-time champion, is now 9 minutes and 25 seconds left.
We would not have expected that out of her. She was 5 minutes down out of the swim. I've never seen Daniela Reef lose time on the bicycle like that.
Back to the men's race, Alistair Brownlee now makes a move up from Kauai High.
Brownlee, hey, it's your time to take a turn at the front. You do some of this work. This is a group that's working together to try to keep that distance from some of the Uber cyclists, the Cameron Worfs, the Sebastian Kienleys. How long can they stay away?
Josh Amberger from Australia at 76 miles onto the bike ride right now. Jan Frodeno leads, Tim O'Donnell in second place, Alistair Brownlee in third, Josh Amberger right here on screen at 2:11 now, making his way a little bit further back. And there is Cameron Worf for the first time. We get to talk about the cyclist that holds the world record here, the world championship record at a 4:09. Boris Stein and Maurice Clavel always dropping back now. Maurice Clavel was in the lead group for a long time.
They are joined by Sebastian Kienle. There's some cycling power in there. Will these guys be able to close down that gap to our lead pack by the time they get back into town?
Christian Hogenhal from Denmark and Lionel Sanders also in there, but Cameron Worth, he swam 52 minutes today. He was right up there in one of those chase groups at the 76 mile mark. He's only 2 minutes and 51 seconds down here. He is now rocketing along the Queen Kaumana Highway, and you can see right behind Sebastian Kienle is trying very, very hard, and Boris Stein, he's also trying to get to the front and share the pacemaking duties.
Share the pacemaking duties, but what we also see is Cameron Worf getting knocked around by the wind, and here we have Lionel Sanders. He's a part of that powerhouse cycling group. He's 3 minutes and 17 seconds down. He's suffered with an injury for most of the year, and he's thrilled to be back here on the Big Island giving it a go.
Same injury as Ben Hoffman and Jan Frodeno as they were sidelined in last year's Ironman World Championship. But Lionel Sanders is back for the Vega Ironman World Championship this year with a vengeance. He wants redemption. This now we can see that Tim O'Donnell, a few years ago, TOD, he did the same tactic. He was riding on the front, but now he's looking around for a little bit of pace setting from the other athletes. Here comes Jan Frodeno. This is getting into the critical time of the race. Nutrition is going down a little bit. The heat is getting stronger. And now this is where really the big time jumps are made. You are either going to make up some time or lose a lot of time to your competition.
Well, as these athletes make their way up to Scenic Point here, this is a really critical point in the race because this is a teller of truth. Has the nutrition been right? Are these athletes going to be able to power through to the finish, or are they going to sort of struggle and try to triage some nutritional errors that they may have made earlier to prepare themselves for the marathon?
Frodeno looking good. His body is still and his bike even more still. This is another still bike from Lucy Charles Barclay. She's got a very nice rhythm going at the moment. You can see her cadence is right on point at the moment. Her arms are tucked in a great position, chin right down level with those hands.
I can see that Lucy spent a lot of time working on her aerodynamics over the off-season here, and that's going to be to her advantage here. So far, Daniela Ryf has not been able to close that gap. Lucy Charles Barclay has never held the lead going into T2 in this race.
The race may be falling into Lucy Charles Barclay's hands at the moment, but she has some strong runners right behind her. We can see now that right behind there you can see the beautiful pedaling action, but on the side there we can see that Daniela Ryf now, she's now looking like she's got a little bit of a pep in her step. You can see that the power has returned to Daniela Ryf. Now she's taking out a little bit of time of Lucy Charles Barclay.
She looks like she's making a go for it, but I will say on her face she looks like she's working. Normally she's got a nice relaxed look on her face, but she looks like she's working out there today, Greg.
Lucy Charles Barclay, second place for the last 2 years in a row, and the year before that she was the age group world champion, so she's gone a long way in such a short time, working very, very hard with aerodynamicists in the wind tunnel to get that bike position. This is Daniela Ryf. She's worked very hard over the years to maintain the strength on the bike, and look at this. Absolutely a pleasure to watch this young lady as she makes her way around. Will she win her 5th consecutive Ironman World Championship? I tell you what, the top 10 all-time finishes, an 8:26 by Daniela Ryf. That was set last year. Lucy Charles Barclay at an 8:36. Annie Haug, who's one of our favourites today, at an 8:41.
And what I noticed in that graphic there, Greg, is the fact that Daniela Ryf appears on that list 3 times. She is quite a champion.
Jan Frodeno here, the 2-time world champion, has now made a break for him. He did get out of the saddle. He did really stamp on those pedals, and now he has established a 40-second break on Timothy O'Donnell. He won the race in 2015. He backed it up in 2016. A very, very hard thing to do here in Kona. And look at this. Timothy O'Donnell and Alistair Brownlee, the Ironman rookie, have been left in the dust.
They have been left in the dust. You know, Tim O'Donnell looked over his shoulder as if to say, hey, somebody else come to the front, and Jan Frodeno wasted no time. He went to the front, but then he rode away from him.
Timothy O'Donnell is no stranger to leading the Vega Ironman World Championship. He's done it before, and he's finished in the top 4 before, but that's his best finish. Today, he looks like he's set to establish himself in a very good position here to get after this young man. This is Jan Frodeno. He's 38 years old. There is nothing that he has not done in the sport of triathlon. He's won the Olympic Games. He's won many World Cups and World Championships, and he won 2 Ironman World Championships. He's going for 3 today. No German has won 3 Ironman World Championships. It's either him or Patrick Lange, and Patrick is out of the race.
Patrick is out of the race, and we come back to Tim O'Donnell. The big question mark from Tim O'Donnell, he sustained a foot injury about 6 weeks ago. His run training hasn't been what he might have wanted it to be, so he's doing a lot of work on the bike. Is he doing that to establish a bigger gap in the hopes to hold on to a top 10, or does he really believe he can do it?
Yeah, re-injured the foot injury that he had 18 months ago, so he's been battling that. Not too much running on the road, but not for this young man. He has had a brilliant preparation back there in Girona, Spain, and then a training camp on the Hawaiian Islands as well in preparation for today's race. Jan Frodeno now sits in his bike, absolutely gorgeous. Look at this, it's a great setup that he's got. The arms are stretched out in a 90-degree angle. Alistair Brownlee finishing off his bike ride today and just making sure that all that nutrition goes in as he gets set for the run course. But Cameron Worth and company are catching up now as he's losing a lot of time here at 3 minutes and 4 seconds right now.
But here we have Jan Frodeno, who is sticking out of the water, but he's the first man off the bike on this Ventum bike course. He makes his way into T2 and gets ready to tackle the Hoka One run course.
That was a really precise move by Frodeno as he made his way to the front after Scenic Hill. Then he accelerated away from the field at the 95-mile mark, and now he's established a very good lead going out onto the Hoka One run course. Jan Frodeno is one of the fastest runners out there, and now the rest of the races are going to have their work cut out to try and catch up to this champion.
They absolutely are. And Greg, we call this the judgment zone. How do they look coming off the bike? And to me, Jan Frodeno looks outstanding.
He looks outstanding, but you can see now just making work of the last part of the bike course. There is Alistair Brownlee. He is being caught by Cameron Worth as they come into the transition, but this is Timothy O'Donnell arriving second off the Ventum bike.
This is Tim O'Donnell in second place off the bike, and there we have Cameron Worth on the right-hand side of the screen. He's making his way just past the Kona Aquatic Center, not far back.
Holds the World Championship record on the bike. That is Cameron Worth at a 4:09, set in 2018, but in 2018, this champion did not race. He had a stress fracture in the hip. He had to take around about 6 months off training and rehabbed himself very, very well. And in 2019, he's back to where he left off.
He's back and he's got a big fire in his belly. He wants this win, and he is well on his way to getting it. Just 26.2 miles between him and the win.
Making sure that his watch is set in place so that he can follow that all day long in the afternoon as they run out onto the Elite Drive, onto the run course. This is Tim O'Donnell. Now he's sitting in a very good position right now, and Timothy hasn't run much at all this year.
Well, certainly not on the ground. He had that foot injury, re-injuring a foot injury from 18 months ago, right in the heat of his Kona build. So big question mark how he's going to run out there today.
Wasting no time and getting into that long stride, the 6'4" frame of Jan Frodeno now heads out onto the run course. Onto the pro women's leader here, this is Lucy Charles Barclay. She's making her way back into town here with only 11 miles to go. Her lead is still significant over Annie Haug, over Blameth, Phillip and Crowley.
She's got to be really excited right now. She's never led the race this deep into it.
So here we see Jan Frodeno at almost 1 mile into the run course. He's got a 1:34 lead on O'Donnell. Brownlee is at 3:33. Cameron Worth and Sebastian Kinlay running almost together there at 3 minutes and 34 seconds down. Frodeno continues to lead. They head out to Pahoehoe Park at the 3 mile mark. They will turn around and then head back into town here at Kona. And right there you can see Alistair Brownlee up on the toes and running without a hat.
We can identify Alistair Brownlee from a mile away with that run form, but here we have Tim O'Donnell, the American. We know it's game on when he turns that visor around backwards.
He's made the turn at Pahoehoe Park there, and you can see the beautiful Pacific Ocean meets Elite Drive. Very hot, very oppressive down there, and not much wind to speak of. Now we're going back uphill. He's got a 2:10 lead, so he's extending it.
He absolutely is extending it, and this is the athlete's favorite part of the course here along the Elite Drive. Tons of crowd support. They've been out on the Queen K Highway on their bikes all day long. They come in, they get a great amount of support through this section of the run course.
Timothy O'Donnell right now is running uphill. He's got a short stride at the moment, but very efficient. You can see that the arm carriage is sitting in a great position, and look up on the toes is Alistair Brownlee coming out of the short course. A great career at the short course. It's still not over, but he is now making his way along the Elite Drive, just bounding on those toes.
Here we have Lucy Charles Barclay making her way off the Ventum bike course. She has never led this deep into the race. No sign of Daniela Reef. This may be a door opening for Lucy Charles Barclay.
Lucy Charles Barclay must be licking her lips right now because this is going to be a race in the afternoon. We know that last year she ran a 3:05. Annie Haug, on the other hand, ran a 2:55. Now we'll have to wait and see what the difference is. Lucy Charles Barclay went and worked very hard on the aerodynamics and how her setup was on the bike. She worked even harder on the run.
She worked harder on the run, knowing that that was her one thing that people could say was a bit of a weakness. Again, the gap last year between Charles Barclay and Annie Haug was about 10 minutes on the marathon. Lucy Charles has worked tremendously on her bike.
Daniela Blameth right now. She is followed by Annie Haug and Sarah Crowley. Laura Philipp is also in there from Germany. So we've got 3 top Germans in our top 5 in our women's race right now. This is an incredible day for Germany at the moment. Daniela Blameth right now coming in second place. She's never been up this high in the rankings yet.
No, not at all. And what's more significant to me, Greg, is the run power that she's accompanied by. Annie Haug, Laura Philipp, these women blistering speed on the run.
And they really made a dig at Lucy Charles-Barclay on the way back into town as well. But Blamel, right now, you can see that she put a super effort in. But look at that. Look at the run form of these two women. That's Annie Haug and Sarah Crowley chasing after Blamel right now. So Daniela Blamel having a very good bike ride at the end there. She's in second place. Annie Haug is streets ahead of the other women. Right now, she's already dropped Sarah Crowley in transition.
Her run form looks greatly improved too. We talked about her aerodynamics on the bike, how those were better. To me, her run form looks better. Her stride looks more powerful. She's always had a long stride, but it looks like she's getting more power per stride.
Okay.
Yeah, from the bottom up, we could see that the gait was beautiful. The biomechanics were even better. The knee drive and the hips were square to her target. The shoulders were right there, rocking from side to side. But look at the form of this, the diminutive figure. We call her the pocket rocket, like Marinda Carfrey. She swam 54. She biked a 450 today. And already on the run, she's making up time on Lucy Charles-Barclay.
And she looks like she's running so easy. She bounces so nicely along across the pavement, as does this man, Jan Frodeno.
Jan Frodeno with a 3-minute lead over Tim O'Donnell at the 8-mile mark. Sebastian Kinley has now moved into third place, overtaking the Olympic champion, Alistair Brown.
You know, Jan Frodeno moving ahead of Tim O'Donnell. Tim O'Donnell's got to defend that second place. Kinley's running really, really well this far in the Hoka One One Marathon.
Tim O'Donnell looks really good heading out onto the Queen Kaumana Highway. He doesn't have that far to run, but the deficit is 3 minutes. He's running out of real estate right now from Jan Frodeno. Jan Frodeno knows exactly what pace. He is meticulous in his form, and he's meticulous in the way that he sets his races up. So is this young lady. She's only 26 years of age. She got married at the end of last year to Reese Barclay, and what a great team they are. Lucy Charles-Barclay, very well coached, very well trained, and today you can see that.
And these two women just got to look at each other in that last frame there. Annie Haug running outbound on a leaky drive. Lucy Charles running inbound on a leaky drive. And we saw Lucy Charles take a sneaky peek at her watch, taking a split there to Anna Haug.
Yeah, just like Jan Frodeno, he's been looking down at the watch as well. You can see him now just running, just gliding out there. The big, tall figure of Jan Frodeno. Look at the stride length that he has. Standing at 6'4" tall, he's always going to have a long stride length. But look at this, the run form, absolutely perfect. You know, if you look at 12 months ago, Dee, he wasn't even running.
What's more striking to me out here, Greg, is how lonely it is out there. There's not a single soul out there. This is where in the race the athletes can get into their head. They've left the city center of Kailua Kona. They're out on the Queen K Highway. No crowd support out there whatsoever.
Their athleticism is incredible, but now it is a mental game. We saw Frodeno and O'Donnell, absolutely no one. We see Lucy Charles-Barclay, 20,000 screaming fans in town. This is going to raise you up to another level.
But through 3.7 miles, Annie Haug already taken 40 seconds out of Lucy Charles-Barclay.
We know that it's coming down. She's setting a cracking pace in the early part of the race here. Annie Haug is running out at 4-minute kilometres at the moment, or just over 6 minutes 20 seconds per mile.
Absolutely, this is picturesque run form. Look at, she's so efficient, up on the toes, bouncing along the pavement.
Those shoes hardly touch the ground, but now let's go back to the 4-time Ironman world champion. This is Daniela Reeve, inside of the top 7 at the moment, so she's made a little bit of a comeback on the inbound leg on the Benton bike course. But now as we start the run course, she's now just, you know,
I don't actually know.
We've got a great image here of Jan Frodeno cooling himself off.
She's coming right
into
now.
The energy lab. This is the section of the course that's
right
just stifling hot. The air doesn't move. The humidity is up. The sun is coming out. We can see that cloud cover breaking up a little bit. These athletes baking out there in the energy lab.
Beautiful overhead look now at the Ka'upulehu lava flow. You can see that if you're a tourist downtown, you can go down there and look at the lava tube. Absolutely one of the wonders of this island. Now we get the turnaround here. Sebastian Kinley is now coming up onto the shoulders of Tim O'Donnell. He's looking for a little bit more room to move.
He is looking for room to move, and this is the section of the course deep into the marathon where the athletes get a look at each other, that turnaround point. They assess how's the competition looking. They tend to put on a game face to make themselves look better than they actually may be feeling.
The far turnaround is done. Now you can see that Sebastian Kinley running alongside of the ocean, as now Jan Frodeno only has 3.7 miles to run, 5 kilometers to run. He's got a decent lead. Will he be taking his third Vega Ironman World Championship this year, or will it be this guy here, Timothy O'Donnell? He's in the best ever position that he's ever been in at this World Championship, and now he's trying to hunt down Frodeno. Is he running out of room?
I think he's running out of real estate, but what's on Frodeno's mind? Is it just the win? Is he going to get the course record out there today?
The course record is a conversation that we need to talk about. That is 7:52, and we can say that Frodeno is getting after it. So is this guy right here, Sebastian Kindler. He didn't really have the race that he wanted last year. He went out there and he did a bunch of run training, and you can see the form that he has now. Lucy Charles Barclay now is coming up on Maurice Clavel, who was our early leader on the bike ride in our pro men's division. But look at this. This is Annie Haug. She is now caught Lucy Charles Barclay. Will she have the run speed? Will she go round her straight away? Or will Lucy Charles put up a fight, Dee Dee?
I think Lucy's going to try to put up a fight, but looking at the both of them now and how they're running, I'm going to say Lucy doesn't have a chance here. Anna Haug's just running too well. Anna Haug's got Lucy in her sights. She can be patient with the pass, but I can tell you, based on the speeds they're running, it's lights out for Lucy Charles. I don't think she's going to win this race.
Lucy Charles at the moment leads the race. Annie Haug is just 18 seconds down in second place. Remember what happened at the start of the Hoka One run course. She had an 8-minute and 8-second lead on Annie Haug as they ran out. And now Annie Haug been running 45 seconds a mile faster than Lucy Charles Barclay. So Lucy Charles Barclay held the lead right up until the 16-mile mark of this race today, and now it is all Annie Haug as she makes the move.
You can see the differences in their run turnover. Annie Haug still turning over like she did right out of transition. Lucy Charles, her turnover is slowed just a little bit, and rightly slow, so she's deep into this race.
With 16 kilometers remaining, it's Annie Haug now, third place in 2018. The incredible runner with a 2:55. Will she go faster today? My guess is yes, because this is a beautiful style. Look at the gait. Those feet are hitting the ground and not spending too much time there. The knees are in position. She's got that rocking arm flow right there. We call it the arm carriage, and it's absolutely picture-perfect running right now. The two ladies here are putting on a show.
They are putting on a show. You can see the body language in Lucy Charles Barclay. She was a bit deflated as Anna Haug took over the lead from her, but she's got to stay in this and defend that second place. Daniela Reef still making a go of it. She came off the bike over 10 minutes down, so atypical a performance for her, but she's not giving up. She's a 4-time defending champion here, and she's going to run as hard as she can, move her way through the field as high as she can. But this man, Jan Frodeno, he can smell the finish line.
And now as he hits a leaky drive, we have our Hawaiian warrior giving him the entrance that he deserves right down into the finish line here. You can see that the World Championship record held by Patrick Langer is under threat. Look at Frodeno. It's a 7:52.39. Frodeno's going to take the win, but not only the win, he's going to take the World Championship record as he takes the win here today in Kailua Kona. And Jan Frodeno, the first German to be a 3-time Vega Ironman World Champion from Germany, Jan Frodeno.
What a superior performance today, Greg. The conditions really didn't favor it. There was swell and chop, there was wind, there was heat and humidity, and still he got the course record.
And the crowd is going absolutely nuts down here in Kailua Kona here today. There is Mike Riley just getting all of our athletes across the line. He receives the winner's wreath, puts it on the head and over the shoulders there today. Jan Frodeno gets a celebratory hug from his lovely wife, Emma Snowsill. Emma Frodeno, also an Olympic champion.
Last week it's been such a roller coaster, and thank you all for reaching out. I got so many messages, and it just made me realize that for all the nerves and all the hard work, it's just the best feeling to be out here in great shape and be able to actually somehow for a minute or two be able to appreciate it. And then more and more people shout, "Oh, you get the time." I'm like, bloody time, leave me alone. I just want to finish, I just want to enjoy. So thank you all for shouting. I couldn't have done it without you.
And Tim O'Donnell from the USA here, coming down in second place. He's never been this high up on the podium.
What a great finish for Tim O'Donnell, and an emotional one, Greg, because, 2 weeks ago, he didn't even know if he was going to be able to start here due to injury, and here he is coming home in second place at the Vega Ironman World Championship.
Not only a return to form, but a return to the podium for the USA in the men's division. Timothy O'Donnell today is met down there with his reef, but his beautiful family, Marinda Carfrae, and there's Jan Frodeno. But Marinda Carfrae, his lovely wife and baby, is he right there behind the line to say hi. And Marinda Carfrae out of the race today.
Unfortunately forced out of the race with a back injury, but she's able to be down there to celebrate with her husband here today.
And also Tim's family.
Oh, that was wild. That's been a dream of mine for a long time. And I thought last year was going to be my opportunity, and I missed it. So to come back this year and just have such a great race, I'm so humbled and honored. Thank you.
He is a humble man. He's a gentleman. And Tim O'Donnell, second place. What a tremendous day. Did you dream it?
You know what? A couple of weeks ago, I didn't think I was going to be doing this race. And it really just filled me with gratitude that I was able to get to the start line. And a good friend of mine, Lawrence, just said, open your heart and run. That's what I did.
And in third place from Germany, Sebastian Kienle, a former Vega Ironman winner here. And I tell you what, he's going to be happy with the return to form, especially his run leg.
Yeah, he had a frustrating year last year. He's suffered with Achilles injuries. He's had a clean, healthy year this year and ran his way into third place. I think he'll be pleased with that.
And a sub-250 run to boot. Sebastian Kienle absolutely exhausted as he makes his way across that finish line. The German in third place, Jan Frodeno first, second place Timothy O'Donnell, and an exhausted Sebastian Kienle.
Well, that says it all, Greg. He left everything out there on the course, just absolutely depleted. What a race.
It was really, really hard. I think after like the first 20K, it was just a fight against myself, and yeah, I hate Ben Hoffman. Of course, I hate Jan Frodeno, and of course, I also hate Tim O'Donnell, but I also really love them. Because that's the days when you have to fight the most, where you remember the most. Hats off to Jan. I don't know where the shortcut is, he's always finding, but I think it's more like he's actually not taking any shortcuts his whole life, probably. And therefore he has one today here.
So a happy Sebastian Kienle, and then just getting across the finish line in fourth place. That is Ben Hoffman, who came home like a steam train today. What a run.
Fantastic run for Ben Hoffman, another athlete who suffered with injury and sat out last year, so great redemption for him coming across the line in fourth place.
Ben Hoffman just having a child with his lovely wife this year as well, so another father out there. The results today, Jan Frodeno takes number 3. He is your champion with a World Championship record time. Timothy O'Donnell in second, Sebastian Kienle across the line in third, Ben Hoffman in fourth, and Cameron Worth in fifth. But today, it all goes out to Jan Frodeno in first place. What a great day as they celebrate here in Kailua-Kona.
And as they say, Greg, this is the race within the race. Who can cork the champagne the fastest and get the shower going?
Well, I think it was Frodeno for sure there with a 7:51.12, a new championship record there. 7:59.39, the second man under 8 hours on the day. And Sebastian Kienle, cheers to the crowd, cheers to our top 3. So Frodeno just celebrating here at the Vega Ironman World Championship as we now see our gentlemen just still coming into the finish line. Nils Fromhold there, and we can see Cyril Vigneault just coming across that line. Also Alistair Brownlee, our Olympic champion, finally making it across the line there with an 8:25. Great race for him. And also Lionel Sanders, the return of the Canadian.
Yeah, it looks like a tough day out there, not the day Lionel wanted, but again, with the injury he sustained earlier this year, he's got to celebrate the fact that he was even able to compete here today.
Well done to Lionel Sanders, but back to the women's race as we close in on the finish line. This young lady here is Annie Haug from Germany. She's a 2-time Olympian. She went to the Olympics in London. She went also in Rio. Then she focused her attention on Ironman distance racing, and so far, so good. In second place, Lucy Charles-Barclay just slowing a little bit, but that is Sarah Crowley now trying to move up into second.
You know, this is not good for Lucy Charles-Barclay. She held on to lead for so long. She surrendered it, fell to second, and now in the closing miles, Sarah Crowley out of Australia taking over second place from Lucy Charles-Barclay.
With only 7 kilometres to go, the lead is 4 minutes and 32 seconds to Annie Haug. Sarah Crowley is looking ahead, but now she is starting to just slow down a little bit. You can see the foot speed of Sarah Crowley, the Australian, just slowing.
And we saw a little arm movement there out of Lucy Charles-Barclay. I don't know if she's cramping. She's trying desperately not to let Sarah Crowley go.
But right now it really is time to fly on the Hoka on a run course. Annie Haug has 1 mile to go. That is 1.6 kilometres. She has a lead of 5 minutes and 50 seconds right now. You could almost shut it down.
Yeah, she could shut it down, but she's not going to. This fleet-footed woman out of Germany, making the most of this last mile, soaking up the energy of that crowd, running home for her first ever Ironman World Championship title.
This is going to be her first Ironman World Championship, as you say, Dee Dee. But look at this. Lucy Charles-Barclay is clawing her way back into the race.
Look at this. What a champ. Lucy Charles-Barclay fell to third, not going to give it up, came back on Sarah Crowley. Is Sarah Crowley going to come back on Lucy Charles-Barclay? What a finish for these women.
It took Sarah Crowley 39 kilometres to catch up to Lucy Charles, and it only took another kilometre to start falling apart. But nothing is going to happen to the Vega Ironman World Champion. This is Annie Haug, and this is how you do it. She is going to smash her 2:55 marathon from a year ago and take the Vega Ironman World Championship for the very first time from Germany with a great swim today, an even better bike, and a sensational run. This is Annie Haug from Germany.
Well, that smile says it all. I'm not sure if you had told her when she got up this morning that she was going to win the Ironman World Championship that she would have believed you, but here she is, our new champion, the 2019 Vega Ironman World Champion, Annie Haug out of Germany.
Looking as fresh as a daisy right now and getting the congratulatory hug from the CEO of Ironman, Mr. Andrew Messick.
Do you feel that race something that puts you in the right here?
Yeah, it gives me, to be honest, a lot of confidence because my season was like I expected all the injuries, so bouncing back straight was like fantastic for my head, and I knew I'm strong enough on my own, and even the pack is not going well, I can push it on my own and have a decent marathon because I now a little bit of training in my legs, so.
And don't you love this Kona crowd? What do you think about them, huh?
Thank you very much for cheering for me. It was amazing. It really pushes me on, and yeah, the finish line is just gigantic.
A very happy Annie Haug from Germany, the Vega Ironman World Champion in 2019, now making the right-hand turn onto the famed Elite Drive. This has been a mixed day for Lucy Charles-Barclay. She was the leader in the swim. She led off the bike. She led until 10 miles to go on the run today. She fell back into third, clawed her way back into second for the third year in a row. Lucy Charles-Barclay from Great Britain.
Lucy Charles came into this race gunning for the win. She took some chances out there. She ended up paying the price, not being able to seal the deal on first place, but second place again for Lucy Charles-Barclay.
So happy to get across the finish line in second place. A little hug from Annie Haug, Lucy Charles-Barclay in second.
I tell you what, watching this and watching you fall behind and gut it out and come back to where you are, you've got to be extremely proud.
Yeah, I'm so proud. Today was about rolling the dice and see what happens. And yeah, I really felt like the island was tough on me today, but I toughed it out to the end and super proud to get second.
Well, you were tough on a lot of the island today. There's no doubt about that. You pushed it hard on the bike. You were the one that set the pace all day long. But what we saw was just pure guts. We loved it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that was really tough.
Mike, right behind you. Your third place on the way.
Let's welcome her on in. One more time for Lucy Charles-Barclay, second place.
And Sarah Crowley, the Australian, third place again for her. An incredible day.
An incredible day for Sarah Crowley. You know, she came so close to second place, but today here she's going to have to settle for third.
Wow. Sarah Crowley, Australia. You know, we were watching out there, and you moved up to second, then back, then oh my goodness. But what a gutsy performance. You happy?
I'm exhausted, but I think I'm happy. Oh, that was rough. Oh wow, to run that hard, and the standard is now that's only the podium. It's incredible, and yeah, I mean these girls are amazing, and it's so good to be able to get out and have a race with them. It's I think it's so good for the sport that the level is rising so much. Thanks.
Let's get him. Joe Gambles, way to go, Joe. Yeah, you've got to be proud of yourself. A lot of guts. It does. It takes some consistent, hard running, like all day.
Yeah, exactly right. And yeah, I just spent everything that I had, and I just hurt a bit too much on that last heart rate hill coming back down before Palani. So yeah, I guess just got to work a little bit harder on the back end of my marathon.
Well, Sarah Crowley, be proud of yourself. We're proud of you. Third place, Australia, Sarah Crowley.
So the results in our pro women's division today, an incredible day from Annie Haug, the first German to win the Vega IRONMAN World Championship in a time of 8:40.09. Lucy Charles Barclay, second place once again, and in third place from Australia, Sarah Crowley with an 8:48.12.
Another winner on their way, let's bring them home. There they are, Sarah Crowley, Lucy Charles Barclay, Annie Haug, your top 3 women for the Vega IRONMAN World Championship.
Over 95,000 athletes trying to qualify from one of 47 Ironman races around the world. And once again, it's Annie Haug's day. Lucy Charles Barclay in second and Sarah Crowley in third. The big island of Hawaii is saying goodbye to the Vega IRONMAN World Championships for 2019 on what was an incredible day, another record-setting day.